I did get into a fight after the game in the bathroom with the eye black that I had on. But no, yeah, this came from a rough time removing that eye black. We'll have to apply some extra eye black this weekend.
You had that 80-yard touchdown against Marshall. It seemed maybe like a long time coming with this season. How did that one feel just to have it in the magnitude that it was?
I mean, it felt great. All glory to God. But within our offense, with the weapons we have, like I've been saying since the spring, it's kind of a matter of time. And as you had said, like with the breakout game, Nick had the breakout game, Lennon had, like Wayne's breaking out. It's almost like, just like Coach Chesney said, in due time, you continue to do your job, and when that time comes, the ball will find you. And it was just more so just being ready for when the ball came.
And not even just for yourself, but when you see it come to fruition for those guys that you mentioned, what is that excitement level like as a teammate?
Oh, it's insane. It's like you get to the sideline. I got to the sideline. I probably got 30 smacks on the back of my helmet. My head is ringing from all the guys jumping up and down, yelling in my ear. It's like it's insane to be out there with those guys. And I know we ain't have streamers out there in Marshall, but with the guys we have on the field, when you celebrate, it feels like you do.
After talking with guys like Zoe, Nick, and Landon, it seems like some of these longer touchdowns you guys get through the air, you guys almost kind of know before the snap that you're going to get the look that you want to get. Was that one of those instances?
Yeah, definitely. On the sideline, while we were huddling during that TV timeout, we were talking over the look that we had while we lined up in that same formation early on in the game. And this time, me and Zoe, we communicated a little bit in the huddle and over the look he had and what he thought was going to happen, how the defender was going to play the post that I was going to run. And so it was kind of like perfect, spot on. I ran the route, got off the ball, sped down the field, and I just burned it over top just like he asked me to. And I was there for the ball. Best catch.
This is the second game in a row that you guys have had a long touchdown pass pretty early in the second half. How much of a conversation is that, or is it more so Coach Kennedy just kind of setting you guys up to where that is an option early on in the third quarter?
Yeah, that's definitely kudos to Coach Kennedy. We're in that locker room, and as an offense, kind of working through a couple kinks that we had ran into in the first half, just minor mistakes that we know as players and how we practice that they're easy to fix. So we get in there in the second half, and Coach Kennedy has the utmost confidence in us. He'll come up to us, and while we huddle up, he talks about things that he likes, that he saw, and asks us as well what we think could possibly work with our matchups, based on whether we beat our man or not down the field. And we're in there in the locker room at halftime, and it's all on Coach Kennedy. He's asking his players, asking his guys, like, playmakers got to make plays, and he's going to find a way to get whoever it is the ball, get somebody open, because he knows that we come out in that second half and that balloon's ready to pop.
You mentioned streamers. How excited are you to get back here at home? Because it's been a bit since you guys have had a home game here.
Yeah, it has. And this one, we need everybody. We need that tarps off in the fourth for the whole 15 minutes. We need it all. So being back at home this week, we know it's going to be electric. We know this one's going to be packed out, and we know it's already a sold-out game, and we're ready to be out here and play 60 minutes of solid football.
What have been your early impressions of App State's defense as you guys have started preparing for them?
As going off of the Marshall game, Marshall was, I'd say, one of the more, at least on the perimeter as well, physical games that we've encountered as a receiver room at least. But from what we've seen on film so far from App State, their defensive backfield as well, they are a pretty physical room. Their defense, they fly to the ball, around to the football real fast, and they're sound. They make minor mistakes, and they capitalize when you do make mistakes. So that's one thing we got to minimize this week whenever we get ready to play this Saturday.
You were talking about adjustments in game. Do you find that easier with you and Nick and Landon and obviously Zoe as well and everybody else on the offense? But there's a lot of veterans that have played a lot of football. Has that made it easier with you guys having so much knowledge?
Yeah, I'd say 100%. Not only because we have so much knowledge, but because, having played as many snaps as a collective as we all had as a group, you see a lot of these coverages. You see a lot of these play styles before, how these defenders may play. So when you get in that huddle and we're talking over some things that we may see, it's kind of like a trust thing. Like if Zoe tells me that we're on the field and he's seen this on film, or whenever they played last year, like they did the same exact look. It's like it's kind of a trust thing. So you get out there, and with the veterans we have in the room, it's kind of like whatever says goes.
You've got quite a bond too with Landon and Nick. You guys are kind of the FCS boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They came in. Has that been special to kind of see everything kind of progress throughout the year?
Oh yeah, for sure. I love being around those guys, and them two coming from Richmond, kind of Oreo'd me up. CA book. I got 2 Richmond guys on the outside, and it's great to be around them, man. They're electric. They motivate the team during practice, during the week, pregame. It's a different level of energy when you have the receiver room on offense who's hyping up those old line, getting them ready to get in them trenches and get down and dirty. You got guys like us who are willing to rattle anybody up on the team.
And talk about Wiz a little bit. He's kind of in that mix as well. Obviously, you two kind of play the same position, kind of come in and out. But he's made such a transformation here the last month or so.
Yeah, Wiz, that is my guy. Braden Wislowski, the Wizard. He is a weapon, and as you can see, he's got some bounce to him. That play he made, like for all of us, kind of, it's been a long time coming, It's not a case of, oh, I'm open here, he's open there. At the end of the day, as a receiver room, we all collectively feel we're all open 24/7. So more so when we're running routes and we're running, it's not kind of looking for the ball. You do your job, and you're ready for the ball to come to you. It can, when you're on that field, it can go to anybody. And he was ready to make that play.
How about your progression throughout the year? Through fall camp, you had some struggles. There were some ups and downs during fall camp, and it seems like you've been able to get more steady, more confident. Do you feel like you're playing some of your best football now?
Yeah, more definitely. That's all I'd say. I give thanks to all the coaches. Being in the spring and with how fall camp had started off for me. They kept all faith in me, and they pushed me, and they kind of set very, very high expectations for me, and I didn't shy away, not a moment. I kind of just stepped up to the plate and was ready to, take on whatever I had to take on. But my progression as of this season is kind of like faith and just persistence in what's been going on, kind of just going out there and taking it play by play, doing my job to my best of my ability, whether it's blocking on the perimeter for Wayne to break a 60-yard touchdown, or running my route so I pull that safety down so Nick could take it over the top. It's kind of just turned into selfless football, and that's what good teams do. Good teams play selfless, and I think we are a great team. So.
Do you feel like you've got a pretty good rapport with Zoe right now? Obviously, he missed spring, so we weren't able to throw with him. He missed some summertime. But did it take some time to kind of find that rhythm with him?
He was the initiator in every instance. Zoe, even though he may not have gotten as many reps as the other quarterbacks in the spring, I'd say he was always there, and that's big. He was never always in the training room or kind of like to himself. Obviously, he was always in the training room getting treatment, but when we were out there on that field, he's taking mental reps. He's standing out there talking us through some things that maybe he'd like, or maybe he knows that we can fix. Talking to all the guys, especially this summer as he got healthier and progressed. That was kind of a big thing. He didn't take his foot off the gas pedal, and ever since then, he's kind of just been on all of us, kind of getting his way back and building not only his confidence within us, but also our confidence within him.
Kind of going off of what Dave just said, how does the sack in that moment feel when it can pretty much just ice a game against a conference rival?
Yeah, of course that moment feels great, knowing what look we were getting, 4th and goal from around the 7-yard line, so knew the quarterback wasn't going to be able to scramble as well, needing to get in the end zone. So just felt great to obviously get off the field and the game like that.
And kind of with your career arc so far, how comfortable are you feeling at this point now that you're seeing game after game and getting on the field at a consistent rate?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable, obviously, starting from Weber and then obviously up to here. I just keep on growing, getting reps under my belt is exactly what I need just to see how physical I need to be out there. And obviously still a lot to fix. Play recognition, still pad level, hands, but it's been really good, really exciting.
I know earlier in the season we got some opportunities to ask you just about your opportunity to come here and play, but now that the end of the season is right around the corner. Just how much has this opportunity to get on the field and play in college meant to you?
I mean, it's meant the world. You know, I've been waiting for this moment ever since high school. Obviously, going to Notre Dame, didn't get to play there. Got injured. Learned a lot. Obviously, grew as a person there, and then knowing what my journey, knowing what I wanted to do was to still play football. Being able to come here and play, it means the world to me.
How do you feel like you've kind of, I guess, grown more comfortable within Coach Hitchler's defense? Because it seems that he likes to move a lot of guys around, and he moves you around a lot on where you line up on the defensive line. So I guess just how have you sort of adjusted to that? Is that something that you've done a lot before in high school?
Maybe not in high school. Well, I would say maybe a little bit in high school, but it's more of just understanding what Hitchler wants from us and going into defensive unit meetings, coach meetings, and understanding what they want, asking a million questions so that if I don't understand something, I make sure I clarify by asking more questions and understanding what I need to do in every position.
You talk about just learning and growth in your 1 year at Notre Dame. Can you kind of go into that a little bit more? What did you learn and how did you grow in your 1 year there?
Yeah, I mean, I learned I grew up realistically. Still a high school kid, graduating high school early, so basically still in my senior year, my first semester, feeling just overwhelmed with everything that's going on. A lot of school, a lot of football, spring balls, really early in the morning, just learning how to load player management and how to properly create a schedule that is going to help me benefit. That's where I grew the most.
You've heard me, I'm sure, ask Jaylan and Coach this, but just how excited are you to be back here at home in front of the fans? Because it's been
Love it, man. It's been a while, and obviously I'm the most excited to be back at home. Last time we were at home, having all the fans out, being as rowdy as they were and as loud as they were throughout the whole entire game, it really helped us in the most out of anything. That is the heart of our program for the fans, playing for them, making sure that they're engaged, and we just want to put a good show out there for everybody.
What have been your early impressions of App State as you all have started preparing for them?
Yeah, obviously they've had their 3-game losing streak, but they've, like Coach Chesney said, lost by 1 possession. They're a really good team that's going to fight till the very end, and we have to make sure that we're willing to fight longer and harder than they are.
I know Preston asked about you specifically moving around on the defense, but as a defense as a whole, what's it like when you see guys that are kind of willing to step into any position? We joked in the press box on Saturday that sometimes it's defensive end Jacob Thomas, he's willing to rush a quarterback. Yeah. What's it like seeing guys willing to do that sacrifice for whatever it takes to kind of get a guy down?
Yeah, I mean that's what Coach Hitchler preaches. We're gonna do whatever we need to do for the defense to succeed. If that means me playing at nose, if that means JT playing at defensive end, or X going out and catching a pick against. Catch and pick. It's a great opportunity. We know that we need to just do whatever we need to do to help the team win.
Is your pick coming?
Hopefully. Let's hope I get a call out there, or if I peel up onto the back and they try and test me, I'll get the ball over him. But I just play the call that's called and try and make a play.
What are your strengths? Did you even know your strengths coming here originally? Because again, you didn't play much, you practiced, but have you found some new strengths? What have kind of been your strengths as you've been able to finally play this year? Yeah, I mean, coming here, one of the things that I thought was always going to be my strength was a motor. My motor, always going to make sure that I'm going to be giving more effort than the guy across from me, knowing what I have to do and learning the playbook the back of my hand. I was going to make sure that was going to be one of my strengths, that I knew what was going on in every position on the field, or at least every defensive line position on the field, and just being able to understand that. And obviously I've grown to the fact where I need to still stay lower and have better pad level and have more extension, but I feel like I have grown in that aspect and stacking good days. Did it take a while early in the season to kind of get used to the physicality and everything again after not playing for so long? Yeah,
I mean, I hadn't, hit somebody since 2023 fall camp at Notre Dame. So it was interesting. Obviously, I had camp here at JMU, but actually getting live reps and hitting somebody against Weber, that was the first instance of it. And it obviously it went how it went against Weber, and obviously kept on growing better and better. But it's been great. It has been getting better and better.
How nice is it to be able to rotate as much as you guys do? Do you feel like that does pay off in the second half?
100%. Like, we have 10 guys who are able to go in and really contribute and keeps all of us fresh, that we're able to make plays. Whereas if we're playing the whole entire game, as we get into the fourth quarter, some guys could be tired, but that's just not the case for us because we have so many guys that are playing at a high level.
Coach Chesney gave a great answer about now being ranked in the top 25. Do you guys as players, do you bring that up? Do you talk about that? Is that anything for you?
You know, some people like to say that's rat poison, whereas hearing that number and trying to really think about it it's not going to help us right now. All we have to do is win games. We got to win. We got to beat App State, and that's all that matters right now. Like, obviously, it's a very great opportunity, and we're very grateful for it, and no doubt about it, we deserve that. But we still have to do a lot because we lose one game and we're out. So we just got to keep on winning.
I'm going to apologize for not going 1 week at a time, but they're doing that Marvel stuff here in a couple weeks. And
Yeah.
Trent had the classic quote after the Liberty game that they thawed you out like Captain America.
Yeah.
Are you going to go with that for your helmet and or any other special stuff maybe they'll do with you for?
No, I love it. That's a great question. That's my plan. We'll see how everything goes. And I love the story with Cap, and I think it fits. It's great.